at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of Up for Debate, show where three generations go head to head to head in a series of topics. We got one Gen Zer, me, myself. We got one Millennial, no EB. You know what I mean? And then we got one BBB, baby boomer from Brooklyn. How we doing, beautiful peeps? We're back at it again with another episode. How we feeling today?
We're on podcast.
Make sure y'all go tune into that podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We on there too. We ain't
Audible, Amazon Music. And we now have Up for Debate merch. And we are on IG.
You feel me?
At the Up for Debate show.
We global.
We international about this piece.
You know what I mean? What are we here to discuss today?
Well, I think first, we should just discuss the debate about whether or not that song still rings true in 2022. And the song title is by Brand Nubian, Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down.
Oh, you talking about Dave?
Yes. So, should comedy or comedians be held to a higher standard, and should niggas get stomped on stage if they try to test a comedian? Go.
When you say should comedians be held to a higher standard, what do you mean? Higher standard of what exactly?
Well, apparently, allegedly, the assailant that bum rushed the stage, the person's name is Isaiah Lee. And they just say a man accused of leaping on stage.
But he did say dude was getting stomped.
Yes, he did.
That was hilarious.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
And he did come out later and say that Jamie Foxx, Jon Stewart, and Busta Rhymes had nothing to do with the stomping. Okay.
Specifically those people.
But Lee had a replica of a handgun that had a knife blade that was like a 1-2 thing.
This dude was running around with a bayonet?
Basically, yes. Yes.
Wait, so the knife was hidden inside the replica gun?
Yes.
Wait, so he hid a weapon inside?
No, it was. You know how you
like
know
the
how
old school war movies used to have the knife on the end of it.
Like the musket?
No,
yeah, like the bayonets. You know, you know what I'm saying? You try to juke him with it. You know what I'm saying?
No, you guys. If he was in Jamaica,
you know what I'm saying?
It would
Cutlass.
be yeah.
The machete.
Yeah.
Nah, so in Jamaica it's just machete. It's either machete or cutlass.
Yeah, it's the cutlass.
So it says that the motive of the attack remains unclear. So we don't know.
Because he really came on there and like tackled dude.
Yeah.
Came on there and played himself is what he did.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you ain't Will Smith. This ain't the Oscars. That's it.
Do you think that there's going to be an upsurge of people bum rushing stages though? Because
that's the debate. Because is it punks jump up to get beat down?
No, but that's why I'm saying, like, you're not Will Smith and this is not the Oscars. Like, the Oscars is a place where actors, and it's the award ceremony, it's quiet for the most part. Like, Will Smith slowly it's not like Will Smith bum rushed the stage. He slowly got up out his seat, walked up to him, and then slapped him. But everybody knows, oh, that's Will Smith. What's about to happen? If a nigga get on stage and I'm on stage, nobody knows you. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit around and be like, yo, let's see what he's about to do. Nah, you getting beat down. First of all, security was whack because I think they said he was in the front row. He came out the front.
Because Dave was just like, where did this nigga come from?
To me, if you're on stage, I just feel like you should have security on each side of the stage and then in that front row. At least going forward, since people want to be stupid and whatever, because people just be doing stuff for attention. So just surround the stage, like that front row should be security, the side should have security, and then you just go from there. Because to me, it's insane how people can jump, like even when like musicians and stuff have concerts. I'm looking at this, you're like, yo, people are able to climb a fence, jump on the stage, and it's like, yo, y'all are gonna watch them until they get on the stage. Then we're gonna come and do something about it. Like, nah, you should be hitting them with sliding kicks from the moment they trying to climb up that joint. Just like, hold that.
But the crazy thing about it is this hasn't only been happening with these events. Like within the last
about it in sports.
In the last few playoff games, fans have just been running the court and super gluing their hands to the court, handcuffing themselves like this.
Yeah, but for sports, it's a little different though. Sports is a little different because they've been bugging since the pandemic. Like since they opened the arenas back up. When they opened the arenas back, fans were out there.
It was a pandemonium.
You're right.
Like they were out there running pandemonium. Aside from saying stupid stuff, people are running down on the court and just like.
Well, that's because people were just happy to be back outside. I feel like all of this is happening off the heels of the Will Smith situation. Not saying that, he ignited this upsurge in people bum rushing public events, but it seems like there's been an upsurge in people bum rushing public events after that Will Smith situation. Am I off?
You ain't Will Smith, and this ain't the Oscars.
Word. I think that it just is showing us the level of people that ain't right in the head.
Yeah, because what are you trying to accomplish?
There would be no sane, logical reason unless you were protesting something and you were trying to make a point about oppression, or you know what I'm saying, you were going to be the martyr for the cause. That ain't what this is.
And you're going to jail for no reason.
Well, it's not even a felony. It's just a misdemeanor. I think it's a misdemeanor because the nigga got stomped like he was part of.
He was like he received
Kirk
his
Franklin.
Oh, you're with me.
Oh yeah, we have church. We ain't going nowhere.
You gotta
you seen dude when he was on the gurney?
Property.
Yeah, dude was on the gurney. He was looking down like his right eye was swollen. Yo, I thought his arm was broken, but it was just the way he was cuffed to the gurney.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, they broke dude's arm. I was like, they beat that nigga down. That joke was crazy. We had it coming though.
So should people, or should because you can juxtapose it from comedy and sports to politics, and if a politician has an opposing view and they're up and they're saying something or they're speaking at an engagement or at a rally, should a person be able to just go on stage and bum rush somebody? Or do we now have to be having armed guards at every public event?
Well, I mean, I think you should have armed guards or just security, period. But like, think about it like this, like the T.I. situation. I mean, he got up, he didn't bum rush the stage. He kind of just walked up there and said, yo, pass me a mic, because like this chick is out here talking reckless. At least he felt that way, because to him, it was a serious situation. Like, bro, I'm on, like, cats was trying to get me locked up for rape or whatever the case may be, or drugging him, or on some Cosby business. Like, I feel like, I feel like there's ways to handle certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to bum rush the stage and tackle somebody seems like more of like an attention getter.
That's what I was thinking.
Until it backfires. Like, I guarantee you he ain't bum rushing another stage.
If he does, he he on that same he drinking that same juice that the dude that was sitting behind Mike Tyson on a plane was drinking. Like he just like.
But that's the thing. I think when they do these things, they're getting what they want in terms of the coverage of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of these situations, these guys are doing outrageous things, like handcuffing yourself to the rim, tackling Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Once you see, like, for example, once you saw how much coverage that Will Smith situation got, obviously because it's Will Smith, but just because of the situation, like that whole addiction to going viral is real.
All I
People
gotta
just
do
do
is slap a nigga.
outrageous stuff just to get eyes on them. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the consequences may be.
Slap
So
a nigga one time and go viral.
So is it free
You know what I mean?
speech? So is it free speech or is brand Nubians?
It's free speech. You can say whatever you want. You just can't tell anybody. All right, if you're doing stupid stuff for attention, which is what I think this was, then you got whatever you got coming to you. Now, as far as like what a comedian can and cannot say, you can say whatever you want. I determine whether or not you cross the line with me.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean I got to bum rush the stage, but at some point in time, it's like whether I bum rush your stage, walk on your stage, or I see you in the back, you're gonna have to see me about what you said because that joke wasn't funny. Like you crossed the line with me. Now there's jokes. Perfect. I mean, the one example I use all the time, you making mama jokes, but you making mama jokes about somebody whose mom just passed. They're not playing about that, at least not in this moment. So when people are always like, oh, we've got to start taking jokes and this, that, and the third. It's like everybody can take a joke. It's just everything's not funny. And everybody's life isn't, for display.
Yeah. But I mean, to piggyback off that, everything is not funny to everybody, right? Because if you say a joke in a room full of people, half of them is going to laugh, half of them isn't. It's up to the receiver of the joke to determine whether or not they feel disrespected. Jokes aren't inherently disrespectful. You choose whether or not you're disrespected. You know what I'm saying? Because you could say a yo mama joke to somebody whose mom passed and they might laugh, versus you could say that same joke to another person whose mom passed and they might haul off and slap you. You know what I'm saying? It's just all dependent on who's receiving the joke. So comedians kind of, I wouldn't say they get a pass, but comedy is one of those volatile, industries where you can't really be definitive in what's disrespectful and where the line is, because everybody crosses different lines for different people.
You're absolutely right. Just when you cross mine, don't get mad if I see you about it.
Right. Yeah, that too.
So you're on, if someone says something that is a joke. A comedian. If a comedian says something that is a joke and you don't consider it funny, you now have the right to see him about it.
Well, it depends on what it is. Like if I'm T.I. and a comedian's joking about me, Bill Cosbying people, I'm not playing about that. Because that's a reputation thing. That's a sponsorship thing. That could be a career thing. Like, stuff can end very quickly, especially if I did not do it. No, we ain't playing like that.
Yeah. And people, especially the companies that you work with, they're not always going to fact check. If your name is associated with something like that, they're just going to step away from you and drop your sponsorship or whatever. Now, we've seen that happen with like Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of different people who had different allegations against them, whether or not they were real or not.
Yo, Cam Newton asked a female, like, have you ever played football before? And lost his sponsorships because he said he was sexist. Because he was just like, yo, you've never been on a football field. Granted, you watched the game, but you've never been out here doing what we do. So, I don't expect you to know certain things. And it was just like Dannon, Cannon, everything, all sponsors just started going away. He's sexist, this. Like, you say the wrong thing and people perceive it a certain way.
Yeah.
You just lose stuff.
I think that's probably where cancel culture probably gets
in for them, they lose.
I would have to vote against what y'all are saying, because of the fact that everybody is so sensitive. Everything is so sensitive. Everybody's so sensitive. Everything is an issue. Nobody can get offended now. Like, yo, offense is what builds character. That's
right.
why you have offense and defense.
And when I'm playing defense and then I go on the offensive, we gonna see how much character you have when I see you about it. But it depends. Like stupid stuff, you like for me, you gotta cross the line. Like you've got to blatantly walk across the line and disrespect me. Like I'm a kind of person, I go out of my way to not disrespect people. So if you cross the line with me, and I'll more than likely let it slide a number of times. It's just like, yo, like as Charlie Murphy said, like you cannot be a habitual line stepper over here. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you at a comedy show, you and your wife at a comedy show,
okay,
and you seen Def Jam, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that your wife is she basically has a ponytail in her hair like this, and it's Martin on stage, right? And he goes like, "There's a bald horse shivering somewhere in Central Park," like he did. He actually did it, said it on Def Jam. Yeah. Would you now be offended because he said something about your wife and what she had on?
No.
But your wife is like, your wife is looking at you like,
take a joke.
But to be fair, when that was going, that was a different era of comedy though.
Yes, it
like
was.
Martin used to say some wild stuff on stage.
Martin used to go in on people in the audience.
Yeah, that was a different era of comedy.
And those are just like lighthearted. That's to me, that's a really lighthearted joke. That's not severe. When I'm talking about being offended,
like when he talked about Spike Lee and he walked off with the pigeon toe. Like, what if Spike Lee was mad self-conscious about his pigeon toe and how he walked?
The No Little Comedy Show.
Yeah, true. But that's again, it's not offensive. Those are just like you have jokes and then you have being offensive, where it's just like, yo, you are literally crossing the line with the way that you think you're telling a joke, but it's just you're being mad offensive. Like if you making fun of somebody like, oh, he's mad bow-legged and pigeon-toed, ha ha ha, whatever, or you know what I'm saying, yo, look at this black dude over here with blue eyes, you must get mad white chicks. I don't know, something stupid. But it's just like, aha, those are jokes. But when you start to get into things where it's like, oh yeah, so yeah, you and your wife was out here raping chicks, huh? Whoa. Yeah, that's like, hey, you can't, like, because that stuff can change the person. Like, if you got on stage and you call somebody like, yo, you be molesting kids, huh? I saw the way you like, okay, whoa, hey, can we please stop? Because it's not a joke anymore. Like, you're getting into a situation where it's like, this becomes very dicey.
To be fair, they used to talk about Mike like that though.
Mike Jackson.
They used to talk about Mike.
Little boys' booty holes.
You know what I'm saying?
Cat
they
Williams
used to talk about
messing
Mike
with little boys' booty holes.
If we're going down that route, they used to talk about Mike crazy.
I while he was watching alive. Cat Williams the other day when he was talking about everybody know Mike was messing with them little boy booty holes. That is what Cat Williams said in his stand-up. And niggas was in the audience.
But that wasn't even jokes. Like when he said it, he wasn't laughing. He was saying that shit like he wasn't telling the joke. He was telling you how he feels. What else? What did he say in that joke? He was just like, if I'm trying to attract some kids, what would I need? A zoo, a theme park, you know what I'm saying? All types of other stuff. It's like, don't you like sleeping in the bed with little boys? No, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, don't you climb trees?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was making it, like he was trying to make a point to me when he said that. Like, I found it funny, but I didn't think it was a joke. I was like, yo, nah, he's serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Dave Chappelle, when he talks about, this is why I think Dave Chappelle is a genius. When he talks about the trans community and gay people and the whole LGBT folks and all that other stuff, he doesn't say anything that's derogatory. He just uses the joke to get a point across. You know what I'm saying? And he uses commonly known things that everybody discusses. So it's not like I'm saying something that's secret or I'm saying whatever or I'm truly being offensive. Like when he was talking about, like, what if I was Chinese but I was born in this nigga body? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
this is how I feel.
you know what I'm saying? It's just truly making fun or light of a situation that's like, yo, and he even says it like, yo, isn't that a crazy situation to be in? You know what I'm saying? Like, he talks about it in a real way, but he just uses a joke to get his point across. Because a lot of people that I spoke to, like that I talked to about that and all that, they were like, yo, that was a genius way for him to just portray how people feel, the way it's perceived, the way they're perceived by us, and the way, you know what I'm saying, like we feel like, you know, just this dialogue is going back and forth. It really crystallized the situation with the way he told those jokes. Everybody doesn't do that though. Like,
no,
everybody doesn't have that gift.
I agree, but because if you're able to talk about very sensitive topics, very controversial topics, and then still be able to get off, that's genius. But if you're doing it like you said with the whole T.I. thing about the whole, I heard you and your wife was, that wasn't a joke. You just trying to say something to hurt somebody. Because even when Dave Chappelle was talking about Anthony Bourdain, right? He's just like, yo, he tours the world and eats, you know, meals, all kinds of meals with the most wonderful people, you know. And he talked about his friend that
working Foot Locker.
Working Foot Locker. He's like, never once tried to kill himself. So it was just you know what I'm saying? He was juxtaposing his friend and Anthony Bourdain and the lives that they led, and even though this dude literally was on his way to stardom, then got with a chick, and then she took him for all of the money, and he ended up moving back in with his mother and working at Foot Locker. Never once tried to kill himself.
I think that's why there's such a, or at least for me, I give comedians a bit of a pass, mainly because comedians are a lot, or I would say comedians are probably some of the most intelligent people that you could possibly come across, mainly because they find a way to be satirical and, like you said, talk about serious matters while still getting a joke off, right? Because they can quote unquote say things that normal person can't say to a demographic of people and make those same people laugh. You know what I'm saying? While still, even though you're laughing, there's still some level of, okay, there's a larger point here. And I think that's what Dave does at an expert level. You know what I'm saying? Like, he talks about things that are relatively controversial, but at the end of the day, you can say, okay, this is funny, but there's a larger point that he's trying to make. You know what I'm saying? That it puts a mirror in front of society, essentially. And I think that's what comedians, for the most part, do, which is why they don't get, you know, as much backlash as, say, if, you know, Cardi B said something versus if Kevin Hart said the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I think we need to protect the art form.
Yeah.
But even like with the Kevin Hart situation, when he said, if my son asks for a dollhouse or something, I would buy it and burn it, or I can't remember. But to me, that was like, the reaction to that was the epitome of people being sensitive, because he was obviously joking. And that, like, stuff, like the way people respond to things like that, that's a huge part of the problem. I feel like there's this thing in society where it's like, not that you can't say anything, but people act like they don't understand what you mean if you don't like break it down to some like extreme, you know, molecular smallest particle level or something. It just doesn't make sense. I'm like, yo, you know what he's saying, so why are you gonna try and blow it up if you know he's not being malicious or offensive? You know that. So why do people act like that? I don't know. I think there are sensitive people out there, but there are people,
unfortunately,
who cross the line too.
It appears that when it's anything that has to do with the LGBTQ plus community, is just like off limits.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately.
And I don't think, to me, I don't really think much of anything should be off limits except for serious issues. Like if you have a serious issue, as an example, Pusha T versus Drake, right? So Pusha T makes Infrared, Drake comes back with Duppy, Pusha T comes back at Drake. And he has a line in the song when he's making fun of his friend that has yeah, so I think he has like multiple sclerosis or something. He has MS or something like that. Like I think it's like he has a serious illness.
Yeah.
And he makes fun of it and talks about him like dying or like how his clock is ticking on him or whatever. To me, like, yo, even though y'all are battle rapping, you're crossing a line here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any interest in what it is you have to say because you're going somewhere like, yo, nah, like you've stepped over the line at this point. Like it just becomes distasteful. Now I feel like you can say other things, you know what I'm saying, besides that, or maybe you could even say that in a better way, but I don't know, just things like that, or when I feel like you have officially crossed the line.
Well, let us know what you think, audience. Should there be a line crossed, or should there be a line in the sand that people shouldn't cross? Like, what is it? Yay, nay?
And when y'all answer that, make sure y'all refer to things like In Living Color. You know what I'm saying? Handyman, Men on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Men on Film.
Men on Film. Two snaps and a twist. Don't underestimate power.
Wanda.
You know, it's
I rock your world.
Yeah.
Remember that? Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, no matter what the topic may be, you know it's going to be up for debate. Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Up for Debate.
Like, dude had some city miles on.
I mean, what are we really going to talk about with a 30-year age gap?
Like, think about it. Dude's name is Willie Brown.
That's an old name.
You know, see what I'm saying? Like,
that's an old name.
Nigga said he got city miles. I'm not gonna do it.
Yo,